Hello, it is Jack Gill and welcome back to Redmen Academy. I am joined once again, as always, by James McHale for this one. James, not too much in the last few days, but some good news in that Liverpool have made the first transfer of the summer transfer window. We have bought in Greek left-back Kostas Tsimikas. James, he looks a good signing, doesn't he?
Yeah, I've been watching plenty of YouTube videos on him recently, and he looks like he's got that crossing ability, but he's also got that dribbling on the ball. He's got a little bit of flair about him, which I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expect. Greek players aren't known for their flair on the ball and their technicality, and yet there he is, knocking ball past players, putting it over players' heads. He's looks like a really exciting player, and we finally got a capable understudy now for Andy Robbo.
That's exactly it, isn't it? We don't expect him to come in and be a first team regular. We've got a brilliant left back in Andy Robertson as it is. But for me, the signing of Kostas Tsimikas is very, very similar to Robertson when we brought him in from Hull. Someone that people don't particularly know too much from, but you can see his strengths, and his strengths are definitely going forwards. He looks very good on the ball. He's a very, very good crosser of the ball. And as you say, for games without Andy Robertson, he provides a brilliant like-for-like backup, really. So I think it's a good signing. I think it's important to point out as well, Jurgen Klopp has pointed to his attitude as well. And Jurgen loves a particular sort of attitude in his players. And it seems like he's confident that Tsimikas has that attitude. But yeah, a very good deal, one I'm very happy with. Do you feel sorry for Jamal Lewis, though, James? There's been a lot on this the last couple of days. He cut his holiday short, apparently, to get his dream move and push his dream move through and come to Liverpool. Yeah, you have to feel bad for him, don't you?
Yeah, I do feel for him. We were hoping that he was going to come in, but I think the fee was it was way too much and value for money, which is what our current approach seems to be. Just wasn't it, and for 20 million or 17 million, what it probably would have ended up being, where he wasn't the finished article. It would have took a lot of time to get him up to the standard that we need him to be, and then Tsimikas came along, and he looks like he's ready to come into that deputy role and look to push Robbo, whereas it was too much of a gamble, and he has the potential, he has that higher ceiling, but it's not what we need right now. We've got plenty of young players to develop. We don't want to be bringing in more lads that we're going to have to, potentially wait to bed into the team and see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel for him, but he's such a good player that I feel as though he'll have plenty of other Premier League offers. There were rumours that Leicester are in for a left back and that they wanted Tsimikas, so they may now turn their attention to Jamal Lewis. Everton, I believe, are interested, and Tottenham as well. I reckon is his most likely destination now. But yeah, you have to feel for Lewis. He wanted to join the world champions, but Norwich were asking for too much, and we had to go for or turn our attentions to the Greek Tsimikas. Mm-hmm. So yeah, another Greek legend at the club. The last one, of course, was Kyriakos. So yeah, happy with that. I hope he becomes a good player for us. Moving on, Billy Koumetio has signed a professional deal with the club. James. Really good news. As you know, I'm very fond of this young man.
Yeah, he's a very good technical player. He's good in the air. He's got all those skills that you need to go straight to the top. And we've not rushed him through. There are players ahead of him, but with Morgan Boyers now going out on loan, who we're going to touch on in a minute, he's got that. He's got that path now to getting some consistent minutes at under 23 level and seeing where he's at.
Yeah, under a manager that he's aware of as well. Of course, he's played all season in the under-18s for Barry Luter. So, I'm confident that he will become a super player in the future. I really do think he's got all the capabilities to be a fantastic centre-back. So, yeah, it was news I was very happy with today. And you just mentioned there, James, about Morgan Boyers going to Fleetwood Town on loan. Now, Fleetwood did well in League One before it was, called to a halt. Due to the coronavirus pandemic this season. Managed by Joey Barton, of course. I think this is a really good move for him, James.
Yeah, and he's I like the player. I know you have your reservations about him. I think he's got the skills that he'll do very well at lower league football, and it's the perfect place for him to go in where the pressure's not going to be too much, but he's also not going to be expected to do defending all day long. He's not going to be under constant pressure, and he can refine his game. He can get used to professional football. and then we can see where he's at next summer. He might end up going out against the Championship, and I've got a feeling that he will be a very good Championship level player within the next couple of years or so.
I do see him as one of those sorts of players, James, where he can, kind of like Herbie Kane, where he's his loan move in League One. He may impress. He's going to a good side in League One, a team pushing for promotion with some good players, and then he may impress and he may go for a Championship loan the season after, and that's his level. I feel that sort of area and those sorts of teams. So I think he'll do well in Fleetwood. Fleetwood, he seems to match their style of play, and I feel like he's better suited to their style than ours. And yeah, they're quite a defensive team. As I say, Joey Barton, their manager. So I'm wishing him the best, and we'll follow him throughout this season, and we'll see how he gets on. But fingers crossed, he does really well at Fleetwood. I think he needed a loan move. We've got some good centre backs, some good young centre backs. I think Sepp van den Berg. Of course, Kiana Hoover and Billy Meteo all ahead of him, in my opinion, and better in our style. So, I think he's still a good centre half, though, and I think he'll do very well on loan. So, wishing him the best of luck. And that's for today. Let us know in the comments what you think about Morgan Boyers' loan move, about the new signing Kostas Tsimikas. Let us know, and we'll be back very soon for another video. See ya. Ta-ra.